Welcome to the wasted world of sports, where the game's just a backdrop for drunken retorts. Rugby league or union, it's all fair play, but it's the banter that steals the show. Hey, 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 hey. Ahoy, we're here to make some noise. It's all about the laughs, the fun, and the choice. Join us in our world where the banter is prime. Wasted world of sports, we're having a good time. Scrums and tries, they're all well and good, but we're here for the jokes and 10 pence less from the kickoff to the final whistle blow. We'll take the two and we're ready to go. Ahoy, we're here to make some noise. It's all about the laughs, the fun, and the choice. Join us in our world.
Yes, Gamer Mel, ahoy, Flo Lacey, ahoy there. Welcome along. We're back to the NRL today. The Canberra Raiders, who have been absolutely red hot, taking on the South Sydney Rabbitohs. I smell an upset, but then again, I'm a little bit biased when it comes to the Raiders, isn't it? So we'll see. Hello, Marley Prime, ahoy, mate. Obviously, the Raiders are going to be absolutely up for this one. It is Big Papa's game number 300. Josh Papali'i, game number 300. Ewan Aikens playing game number 200 for the Rabbitohs, so they've got something to play for as well. It is a very bold call, but we are at that stage in the Wasted Water Sports tipping contest where big decisions need to be made. And I've just got a feeling the Raiders, whilst they've been good, they've improved a lot this season. Ricky has got them absolutely firing. It can't be unnoticed that there's also been a hell of a lot of luck involved, and that luck has to run out at some point. I've got a feeling it could be today, leading into the bye. A little bit of a wake-up call. For the Rabbitohs, Cody Walker back, Jack Whiten back, a couple of big inclusions, Tyrone Munro in the centres, and I just like the balance that they've got here this week on the forward pack. Jai Arrow shifts back to prop, and Kalamatangi starting at prop. I like the balance that the Rabbitohs have got. Hi there, mate. Ahoy. Welcome along. Flo Lacey says this round has been full of teams getting belted. Yeah, well, that's the concern. That's the obvious concern for the Rabbitohs. The Raiders are the team in form. Rabbitohs, not so much. And we have seen a lot of beltings this round. Judah Shivian, ahoy, mates. Oh, here he comes. Love the Raiders or not. Josh Papali'i. Wayne Stretch, ahoy, buddy. You must stand and applaud Big Papa, whether you like the Raiders or not. The milestone man with his son headed out onto the field. Quentin Paul, ahoy, buddy. Gucci Sala, ahoy, mate. I'm the best Aussie YouTuber you know. Oh, thank you, sir. Cheers. Very much appreciate those kind words. New channel, ahoy there, welcome along. A few drops of rain on the camera lens there. Here in Canberra, of course, this game, it's going to be cold. Rain is probably the last thing that the Rabbitohs want. Mind you, probably the last thing the Raiders want as well. They're a young, fit team. They use their pace to their advantage. A bit more difficult to use pace when it is teeming down with rain, isn't it? So I don't think either side really wants the rain. JCS Moki No one else does the NRL commentary like I do. Oh, thank you. I'm assuming that was a compliment. Just because you're a regular, I recognize your username. I'm assuming that's a compliment. It could also be taken in a negative light as well. But no, I appreciate that. JCS Moki. Jim Condon, ahoy, mate, as kickoff in this one. The Raiders versus the South Sydney Rabbitohs. I'm all locked in now. There's nothing I can do to change my mind. I've put myself out there. And I've gone with the Rabbitohs. Let's see if they let me down. It is the Raiders with first use of it. Trying to get my screen set up over here. Bear with me for just a second. There we go. Up outside the 30. Go the Raiders. For the Rabbitohs, the key is obviously to close up the offloads. The Raiders have had one of the best offloading games in the competition so far as this kick goes down the throat of Alex Johnston, who runs it back into some big defense. The Raiders, they're going to be up for this one. David, ahoy, mate. My day is doing, well, it's only just begun. We'll see how it's going a little later on because I've taken a very, very bold call here. And I've gone for the Rabbitohs. It's Harvili from dummy half. Gives it off to Jai Arrow. Arrow takes it up to halfway. Fifth and last for the Rabbitohs. Short side, Latrell puts this one high. It's not going to be contestable, but this is not an easy take, but Savage does well under the high ball. The both teams completing their first set. A sellout crowd, apparently. They're in Canberra, so a good result, especially on the back of we saw the rugby, a Super Rugby quarterfinal. And they couldn't pull out any sort of decent crowd. So somebody did point out that everybody would be saving up for this game with the Raiders on a roll. But yes, it was a disappointing turnout for the Super Rugby. Fifth and last, Fogarty puts this one high. Johnston under it. Should be an easy take, and it is. Big defense from the Raiders, though. Tarpany leading the way, dragging the Rabbitohs backwards towards their own goal line. And they'll start this set 10 metres out. Latrell getting involved in some of the hard work. That's what you like to see. Sometimes he's guilty of just sort of resting on the sidelines, isn't he, Latrell? Havili to Kalamatangi. Fifth and last. They bring it up to their own 40. There's a penalty. A piggyback. Oh, Latrell's getting a bit lippy. He's letting them know about it. And that is a relieving penalty late in the tackle count. And a crusher. That's what it is. First penalty of the game. And it's a good kick here from Latrell. Finds touch 35 out from the Raiders line. Whiten, who's back in the team this week. They tap and go. How do we feel about Savage getting one this game? Well, pretty good, I hope, because he's in my multi. So I would like him to get one, but just one. Can't be getting too many. To the left edge they go. Latrell onto Whiten, who steps back in field. Whiten's inside the 10. Taken 5 meters short now. This is promising build-up for the Rabbitohs. Hubner into midfield. 5 out just to the right of the post. Havili heads back to the left. Hubner with the short ball and crashing over is Kalamatangi for the first try of the match. The crash ball. Keon Kalamatangi fighting for a New South Wales Blues jumper. And he couldn't have got himself off to a better start. Couldn't have got the Rabbitohs off to a better start. And there is one of the choices I had. We could have had Kalamatangi in the multi. Dream start here for the Bunnies. 4 points to 0. The kick to come, and it was off the back of the piggyback penalty inside their own half late in the tackle count. And the Raiders just got a tackle wrong and have presented this opportunity. What a start. Uncle Wayne, he's got them up for it, looking to spoil the party for Big Papa. Latrell from right beside the post makes it a 6-0 ball game. The Rabbitohs. A good start. So yes, my four-legger was Alex Johnston, Tyrone Munro, Xavier Savage, and Hudson Young. And I thought about swapping Hudson Young for Kalamatangi and having, instead of Hudson Young, another back for the Raiders. But anyways, as I always say, if same-game multis were easy to pick, we'd all be millionaires. They're not. Muzzle flash, ahoy. Only 70 series channel, ahoy, mate. Rabbitohs claim the kickoff, leading 6 points to 0. What a start it's been. Jai Arrow brings it out to the 20. Oh, it's a nice day for a drink too, I tell you. We've got another game coming up after this one, of course, as Harvey shuffles it down the right side. And Jaden Sullivan takes it up towards halfway. We've got the Tigers taking on the Panthers later on, straight after this game, actually. Tigers-Panthers. Jerome Luai versus Nathan Cleary for the first time. As Latrell puts a low, flat kick into the corner. Needs it to sit up in the end goal. It does. And Ko Weeks gets it back into the field of play, but they hold him up and drive him back for a goal line dropout. The Rabbitohs out enthusing the Raiders early. SME, thank you very much for the heart me over there on TikTok. Cheers. Yeah, in the next game, I've got Jenkins, Casey McLean, Liam Martin, and Stafford Toa. That's my four-legger for the next game. As the Raiders go deep with the restart, trying to trap it with the boot here was Jai Arrow, but it's gone straight underneath. And that loses about 10 meters. He's met on the halfway line. Kalamatangi, the try scorer, fighting for an origin call-up, as he said. A good, strong carry. Sullivan, dummies, takes the line on. Was he caught high? He's appealing for it. Tarpany's still up around the head. 6 again for the Rabbitohs. Kevin Nakuma, ahoy mate. Kevin says, go Bunnies. Go my Bunnies. Arrow bumps away from one. Gets the offload back. To the left edge they go. Walker to Duncan. And a good legs tackle out there by Timoko. They're 15 out though. The Rabbitohs, 4 tackles left. Hubner, dummies. He's tackled 10 from the line. Just to the left of the posts. Havili brings it back to the open side. Sullivan, dummies. He's caught high again there, Sullivan. Again, no call from the referee. Now the call finally comes. High contact. Settle it down and take the 2 here, boys. It's a gift right beside the posts. Tell you what, the referee, he didn't want to call it. He waited until he got the call from the bunker. They're going to have a shot for 2. Latrell says, we'll take it. Or actually, who's the captain today? Cody Walker would be the captain today now that he's back. Give 2 points. The Rabbitohs are about to lead 8 points to 0. They couldn't have asked for a better start, but as we know, these Raiders, Ricky's Green Goblins, they're not going to go away, are they? We have seen them fight back time and time again. So they'll be taking nothing for granted here. T-Sauce Big Papa with any time trying his big day. You know, I did think about it. I thought long and hard about it. As, Latrell's done his best to miss this one. But he gets it just through, sneaks it inside that far upright. And South Sydney lead this 8-0. I thought long and hard about Big Papa, anytime try. I just wonder, sometimes when it's a milestone game, sometimes I feel like, especially a young and inexperienced team, can try a little too hard on a milestone game to get that player across the line, if that makes sense. I just wonder if the Raiders are breaking away from their natural play at the moment, or will start to break away from their natural play as this game goes on. Will the occasion be bigger than the sensibilities of a normal game of rugby league as they try and get Big Papa across the line? Because I know that Papa Leahy, he's a team man. The milestone, he's not going to care about that. He won't be thinking about, I've got to get a try on my milestone game. I just think the rest of the team love the man so much, they're going to try everything to get him across the line today. And that could come back to bite them. And I'm talking about a situation where you've got Papa on a crash ball to the left, but there's a three-man overlap to the right. Common sense says you go right, take the three-man overlap. I just wonder if today those sensibilities go out the window. Fifth and last, on halfway, Souths put this one high. Weeks lets it bounce, and it bounces over the dead ball line. That could have gone absolutely anywhere. It's always a risk, but it's a risk that's worked out well for the Raiders here. 7 tackle set, and this could be the springboard to get them back into the game. Well, Maine, ahoy, mate. The Raiders, a 7 tackle set. This is their opportunity to hit straight back. And I just wonder if Souths might rue that choice to take the 2. Keep the pressure on. If they put it out to 12, obviously it would have been a lot better than 8. But we'll see. They've got to wrap up the Raiders' ball. They've kept the offloads quiet, but they've only had 1 set so far, the Raiders, so it's a bit too early to tell. Here's the set restart. They will definitely be within striking distance at the back end of this. Here is the man, Big Papa. Carries it to the 30. Tackle 2 in midfield. Fogarty drops on the inside to Big Red. Corey Horsburgh. Big Red surely back in the origin team for game 2 for Queensland. Fogarty, the drop off on the inside again, this time to Hosking. 10 metres out now, the Raiders. Tarpany settles things down. 5th and last. Very unusual 1-out stuff here from the Raiders. Starling goes left. Strange puts the grubber kick through. They use their pace, but it's way too heavy. And it beats everybody across the dead ball line. And they're just a little bit flat here, the Raiders, to start this game. Just all 1-out stuff, even when they're 10 out from the line. Unexpected. I hope they haven't been celebrating Big Papa's milestone. They're a little bit hungover today. That's my job, boys. Malachi Whiten, ahoy there. Big Papa, game number 300. And I wonder how, speaking of Whiten, I wonder how Jack Whiten feels at the moment. Obviously, Jack Whiten's very publicised reasons for leaving Canberra was to chase a premiership with the Rabbitohs. And ever since he left, it's the Raiders who have looked more likely. The Souths now 30 out from the line, back on the attack. 2 tackles left. Hubner with the settler on the 5th and last. Keon Kalamatangi, the only try scorer so far. Left edge they go. The double pump is over the top of everybody and into touch. Very scrappy. Into touch with no threat. Jaden Sullivan. Wolfie, ahoy, mate. Nicole Feeney, ahoy. Welcome along. And this ball is spilt by the Raiders. But we come back for a penalty. High contact. Tarpany, is it still down? Oh, he's hurt. He's in a world of hurt. Who is this? I don't think it's Tarpany. No offense to the player down, but I think there'd be a lot more concern if it was Tarpany. Souths have captains challenged this call of an illegal strip. And we'll also keep an eye on who this was taking the hit up, because they are in a world of hurt. This might be a successful challenge here too. I think he's just lost this. There is a hand on the ball, but there's no raking motion. Yeah, loose carry. This is a successful challenge. Not only is it a mistake from the Raiders, they don't get their penalty, but also this man is down and in a world of hurt. Tamale it is. Well, this would be a big loss for the Raiders. Who have they got on the bench? Sasagi. He's still down. So that is Tamale, who is hurt. And Ahoy there. Go, everyone. Yes. I love that attitude. We just love the sport, so go, everybody. It doesn't matter who wins or loses. Just go, everyone. I love it. I'll drink to that. Cheers. Oh, he's still down here, Tamale. Well, this is not good at all for the Raiders. So not only did they lose the penalty, it's a dropped ball, a full set of 6 on the attack for the Rabbitohs, and Tamale looks like his day is done. Sasagi up, ready to come on. At least they had somebody there on the bench. Had a Pincho and Paddy could do it as well, I suppose. Starling could shuffle out. And he can't put weight on that knee at all. This could be his day, Tamale. He cannot put weight on that right knee. Oh, he's up. No. He is up on his feet, but he, at the moment, cannot put weight on that right leg. And he's being subbed off. Yep. The call from the official, the call from the trainer, he's coming off. And that will enter into the fray Simi Sasangi. Yeah, and he can't put any weight on that right leg. Tamale being helped off by the trainers. As it starts to rain really heavy now. So this is a valuable lead for the Rabbitohs. Panthers on top for life. Ahoy there, mate. How are you doing today? Rangi Mari ASP, or is it Rangi Maria SP? Either way, it's up to Waz. Scrum down. Here's Littrell. Angling towards the right touchline. Craig Howarth, ahoy, mate. Tackle 1, 20 metres out. They go back to the left. It was the only option, really. If they went right, they would have gone straight into touch. Tackle 2. Over in midfield, Havili. Sends it left. Tamale's gone. Walker with the cutout pass onto the chest of Alex Johnston, and AJ scores in the corner. It's a tick off the multi, but importantly, it's the Rabbitohs extending their lead. Alex Johnston, the try-scoring machine. Cody Walker, the try assist. The Harbour Bridge ball over the top. And that left edge is firing early for the Rabbitohs. Try confirmed. Souths are up 12-0. Kick to come. Dens. There goes my multi. Mate, I'll tell you, depending on who your bookmaker is, they'll usually void a bet. You might get a bonus bet back. But if there's a severe injury sort of early in the game, and we're still pretty early in this one, depending on who your bookmaker is, you might find that you get that returned out of sympathy. They quite often void the bets on an early injury, so you might be right. It depends if you had Tamale straight anytime try scorer. If you had him in a combo, then they'll let it run. Latrell from the sideline hooks this one off to the left. That penalty goal earlier becomes very important. It stays 12 points to 0 as the rain has gotten very heavy here. And as the rain continues to tumble, a 2 converted try lead is going to be so valuable. Souths were like $3 something outsiders. Back underway. Cody Walker takes it, gives it to Kalamatangi. Difficult take in these conditions. And the Rabbitohs will start their set now 15 out from their own line. Judah Shivian says, I'll never understand the NRL 4th place team with a points difference plus 72 thrashed by a 12th place minus 58 team. Wow. I could do a Generations podcast episode in of itself on all the different variables that can happen throughout the course of a game. But I'll sum it up as swiftly as I can as Souths just get a 6-set restart there on halfway, and Latrell with the carry takes it back into Raiders territory. The competition this year is so tight. We're finding that anybody can beat anybody on their day, and that's what we absolutely love to see. This competition, in terms of the top 8 positions, it's going to go down to the wire in 2025. I think that we will be in the last round of the regular season, and a couple of those top 8 spots will still be well and truly on the line. It's so tight this year. Kalamatangi takes it to the 20. Ahoy, Mookie. How are you, mate? 2 tackles left. Havili sends it left. Sullivan sends it back infield. Walker heads across to the right. Drops it off on the inside for Tass. Tass is tackled inside the 10. Pressure on the Raiders. 5th and last. Havili to Walker. Grubbers in behind the line. It sets up for Fogarty, who bats it dead. And it's a goal line dropout. The Raiders under pressure. They just can't get anything going at the moment. The Raiders, the Rabbitohs controlling possession and territory perfectly. Playing to the conditions. Fogarty waiting for the ball. They went deep last time, the Raiders. They go short this time, and it's been lost by the Rabbitohs. Sebastian Chris comes away with it, and there's a result for the Raiders. Can they use this as a launching pad? The crowd suddenly sparked to life. From dummy half goes Ethan Strange. 40 out from their own line. The crowd now trying to lift the team. Tackle 4 on halfway. Slow play the ball. Starling sends it right. Horsburgh to Papali'i. Breaks the first tackle. Papali'i. From a very slow start, though, so he doesn't make too many meters after the line break. You couldn't even call it a line break. 5th and last. Fogarty puts this one high. Contestable kick in these conditions. Taken by Latrell, who is now tackled in goal. What a turnaround that set is from the Raiders. Goal line dropout from the Rabbitohs. Here they come, the Green Machine. The short dropout knocked on by the Rabbitohs. They've gone the length of the field, and they've forced a line dropout of their own. Patrick, Humphreys is starting from the bench today, which I actually think is a really good call. As Mitchell sends it up. Not short, not long. And it's been taken by Weeks. The Raiders will play it. 25 out in midfield. Horsburgh. 15 out. Yes, I actually think Humphreys from the bench is actually a very good call because he can come on later and spark the attack a little bit further. Whereas Sullivan, when he comes in off the bench, not as good. I think the idea will be for Sullivan to go to hooker and Harvey goes off for a rest. And they bring Humphreys on to play halfback. That'll be my guess based on the lineup. Let restart here for the Raiders. Fogarty. Inside ball for Timoko. 5 out from the line. Crash ball for Big Red. Horsburgh. A metre short right in front of the posts. Switch of direction here. Fogarty grubbers him on the line. They were offside there, the Raiders. But it's play on and Latrell slides into the field of play. Well defended by the Rabbitohs. Well positioned by Latrell. And fantastic work. I think they probably would have preferred the penalty for offside, though, to be honest. And this is a big set of 6 now. The Raiders, a missed opportunity. Can the Rabbitohs piggyback upfield? They're pinned down their own half at the moment. Tackle 4, still inside their own 20. Hubner backs into the defense, or Jai Arrow, sorry. 5th and last, they're only up to their own 30. Big kick needed here from Latrell, and he sends it big. It's going to be taken on the fall, but it's taken. 10 out from their own line here, the Raiders. Weeks returns it to the 30. So that's a little bit of a stalemate. Raiders back in possession. Sebastian Chris with the most forward pass you'll ever see to Sazangi. But none of the officials were in a position to call that one. And the Raiders have spilt it now. Hudson Young slips. And the conditions starting to get very tricky. And we're going to see a lot more unforced errors like that as this game wears on. And I've got to say, that was the rugby gods. That was the footy gods interjecting. Because it was a blatant forward pass from Sebastian Chris in the lead up to that play. Kalamatungi now to the 20. Rabbitohs go back on the attack here. 3 tackles left. Walker with the short pass for Duncan. Duncan stands in the 3-man tackle. 12 points to 0. Walker to Totola. Just to the left of the post here. Tackle 5. Harvey to Walker. Runs it to the line. Goes out the back to Latrell, who bats it on for Johnston. And Johnston just surrenders in the tackle. Happy to hand it over. 10 metres out. Raiders defence manning up. And probably a sensible call there. I mean, you don't want to be giving away 7 tackle sets. Period. But let alone in these conditions. First meeting, ahoy mate. Bennett's Bunnies doing a funny on Ricky's Raiders. So far. Early days though. Early doors. 16 minutes left in the opening half. And we've seen the Raiders win very, very late in the contest before. And I'm sure that will be the message at halftime. Should there be no change to the score from here on in, no matter what happens, that'll be the message in the changing rooms from Uncle Wayne. And we know what these guys can do. 5th and last down, Big Red plays it back for Fogarty. Sends this one high, contestable ball. Johnston is under it. Johnston takes it, but he's met as soon as he lands in the chase by Timoko. And the Rabbitohs once again pinned down their own end here. 10 out from their own line. Jack Whiten. They were very keen to put a hit on Jackie Boy. On the field, Tyrone Munro, of course, starting in the number 20 jersey. Tackle 4 for the Bunnies. Yes, indeed. Straight after this one, Tigers versus the Rabbitohs is up the middle on a good run. Kepi takes it up almost halfway. And now Latrell spots some space. That's a nice kick in behind the Raiders. It sits up for Weeks in the end goal. And he brings it back to the 10. Kyo Weeks. That was a nice kick from Latrell. The home crowd appealing for a penalty. Yeah, Tigers versus Panthers. What did I say? Tigers, Panthers coming up after this. Tackle 4, 40 out from their own line. Raiders looking for Fogarty to put a big kick in here. And he sends a high one up. This is a tester. Latrell's under it, and oh, what a take. Latrell Mitchell. Pressure. What pressure? Oh, did I say Tigers versus Rabbitohs? Okay, somebody said I said Tigers, Rabbitohs. Somebody said I said Tigers, Raiders. Either way, obviously, I meant Tigers, Panthers. My apologies. I'm clearly quite caught up in this game. The Rabbitohs versus the Raiders. Yes, Tigers, Panthers. Coming up immediately following this one. Kalamatangi goes out the back for Sullivan. And now Latrell slides across the deck and up to halfway. Fifth and last, Sullivan rushes a kick away. It's a shocker. It's going to bounce awkwardly, though, for the Raiders. Savage collects it inside his own 10. And that was a horrid-looking kick, but it's worked out all right. Tackle 1 for the Raiders. Oh, Tarpany's having a spew on the sideline. Why did they have to cut the camera to that? Terrible. Outside the 40 now, Hudson Young on play 4. Tarpany is off the field, obviously, and Mariotta's on. Having a cheeky spew on the sideline. Fifth and last. And dinking this one in over the top. It's taken on the full again by a perfectly positioned Latrell Mitchell. 25 out from their own line, and that's a poor play, the ball. Latrell comes up with the mistake. Latrell Mitchell falling as he tried to play that ball. And here is a big opportunity now for the Raiders. Latrell Mitchell rolling the play the ball. And here come the Raiders now. This is their best opportunity of the game so far. This could be a huge turning point. Mariotta looks to offload, but the Rabbitohs doing a good job wrapping the ball up. The Raiders haven't got their offload game going. Numbers to the left. Sasangi bats it on, and it goes into touch in behind Sebastian Chris. And it is just not clicking today for the Raiders. They had tackles up the sleeve. Simi Sasangi, he might have been better off just taking the hit there. Pushing the pass, and it was nowhere near its target. What a let-off this is for the Bunnies. South's defense holding firm. Uncle Wayne's got them up for this one. Oh, Wasted World of Sports. 5,999 subscribers on YouTube. Who will be subscriber number 6,000? Kalamatangi to Walker. The hand back in the inside as they march up towards halfway. 11 minutes left in this opening half. And it's been a good one overall for South Sydney. Fifth and last, Latrell from halfway puts this one up. Contestable kick. The Raiders have slipped over, and it's gone out on the full. Now Latrell's down in back play. Latrell's down in back play, holding his head, hands on his knees. Was he cleaned up after the fact? Well, not really. Anyway, the Raiders have got away with one there. Not only the contact on Latrell after the kick, you see those called, but Xavier Savage, it was who slipped over, and that could have gone absolutely anywhere. 40 out from the line. The Raiders go back on the attack. Fogarty takes the line on. Looks right, looks left. Decides the tackle is the best option. Starling down the right side for Smithies, and now Big Red. 25 out on play 4. Starling to Fogarty. Out the back to Strange. Inside ball for Young. Young gets the offload. Their first one of the day. Fogarty now chips over the top for himself. And it's too heavy and goes dead. 7 tackle set. And they're just not getting it right at the moment, the Raiders. These little things that have been going their way all season long. It's like I said at the top of the stream. Sometimes, eventually, your luck will just run out. It feels like today might be that day. Munro with a nice strong carry. Sam Valston, ahoy mate. And they're going to need all 7 of these tackles as Humphreys is on the field. Jamie Humphreys has come on for Harvili. Now Walker kicks early on play 3. Nobody back here for the Raiders. But they've got the pace. Weeks back there with ease, but he's going to be trapped here inside his own 10. Held up and driven back. Only a couple of meters. He gets to ground. Raiders will start this set 2 out from their own try line. That was great heads-up play. But now Savage beats one. Goes close to the sideline. 9 minutes left in the opening half. Yes, 6,003 subscribers on YouTube. Cheers, everyone. A milestone for us to join Big Papa on his day. Milestones all around. There's Strange, sends it on for Young. Young gets the offload away. Back for Strange. Numbers down the left. And here's Sebastian Chris in open space. Support back in field from Ethan Strange. And it's been dropped with the line wide open. Simi Sazungi. Try line wide open. Spills the ball. The luck is well and truly gone. Although there was no luck at all involved in that play. That was just smooth, silky hands. The Raiders are starting to get their offload game happening. And it's starting to trouble the Rabbitohs. Seven minutes left in the opening half. The Raiders have just absolutely dead set bombed one. That would have been huge as we approach halftime. A big momentum swing. Poor scrum, but Humphreys comes away with it. He's swamped by Raiders defenders. 3-man tackle brings him down. And they're 20 out from their own line here, the Rabbitohs. I got Alex Johnston, yes. Now I need Savage, Munro, and Young. Is Totola. Matt Hard in the tackle. Sabaton Leo, ahoy mate. Up to halfway now, 5th and last. And the kick taken by Sebastian Chris at the back. Chris heads back into midfield. Guess what I watched last night, Sabaton Liam? For the first time in a long time. Tackle 2, Raiders, Savage to the line. Taken 40 out. Their own side of halfway here, the Raiders. Oh, come on, mate. An easy guess. This is an easy guess. Yes! Up over halfway. Go the Raiders. Good guess, Sabaton Lamb. Inside ball for Hudson Young. Moody, BBN, Ahoy mate. Osh K's got the Raiders for a comeback as Fogarty puts this one high to the corner. Johnston going to be tested here. Does well to take it and surrenders in the tackle. Half a metre out from their own try line. 6 minutes left in the opening half. A bobble by Jack Whiten. That was nearly a huge mistake. And now Latrell has to reach back for a poor pass. The Rabbitohs just starting to get a little bit jittery here. First try scorer was Keon Kalamatangi. And then Alex Johnston bagged the second one. Rabbitohs up 12 points to 0. Fifth and last, the kick from inside their own 30 here, the Rabbitohs. It's a good one. Sending it deep and scooped up on the bounce by Weeks. And Weeks returns it to the 40. This is good field position here for the Raiders. They've definitely had the better of possession and territory. In the sort of the back end of this. Michael Paul, Ahoy mate, 6001. Yeah, push subscribe as soon as I announced it. Oh, cheers, mate. Starling with a nice run from dummy half. That's tackle 4 now. They're 20 metres out. Front football, the Raiders. Big Red out the back to Strange. Cut out pass for Sasangi. Steps in field. Fifth and last. 5 out. Fired across into midfield. Fogarty with the crossfield kick. Savage leads the chase. It's battered dead by Johnston. Alex Johnston wasn't even going to muck about with that. Obviously, if he takes it cleanly, they come out for the 20-meter restart. He wasn't taking the chance, though, AJ. As Latrell Mitchell sends the restart deep. And it's taken by Big Red. And he's not going to pass it. Big Red's going to line up. And he lined up Jack Whiten. Well, I thought he was going to line up a weak link in the defensive line. But no, he lined up Jack Whiten. 3 minutes left until halftime. Crucial, I believe, for the Rabbitohs to hold on here. Crucial. I mean, 12 points to 6 at halftime. I think the Raiders could consider that a victory. Set restart, so the pressure will stay on. That's tackle 1. 10 metres out. Just to the left of the post. The crash ball for Tarpany. Tackle 2, and it wasn't Tarpany either. It was Mariota. My apologies. Weeks on to Timoko. Timoko can't get the ball free for Savage. And a penalty now to the Raiders. All over the tackle player there in the ruck as he tries to play it. Starling with the tap and go. So more pressure for the Rabbitohs. I truly believe it is absolutely critical for the Rabbitohs game here to keep their line intact. Strange with the goose step. Goes straight through. Ethan Strange scores. Well, that's huge. Here come the Raiders. They've been so poor in this opening half, and they're going to go into halftime only 6 points behind. They have been dominated this 40 minutes. They will take the most out of this first half now. The Rabbitohs have let themselves down big time. Just a poor one-on-one miss from Jaden Sullivan on Ethan Strange. Got him with the goosey. What they say, these are the championship minutes. Right before and right after halftime. The championship minutes. And the Raiders have come up with a crucial 6-pointer. I mean, they've been so poor this opening half. So poor. They're only going to be 6 points behind. That's massive. Ethan Strange to convert his own try. Difficult kick in these conditions, I suppose. But it should be a pretty simple one. Just to the left of the post. Puts it down the middle. It's 12 points to 6. Jim Condon says Raiders can win this easily from here. Raiders could win this by about 30 points now off the back of that momentum. I truly believe it was crucial to send them into halftime with donuts. Critical. The Raiders have all the momentum now. Yeah, the Rabbitohs have really let themselves down here. Back underway. They shouldn't get a full set of 6 here. The Raiders, big defense from the Rabbitohs. They'll start 15 out from their own line, the Raiders. 30 seconds left of the opening half. It was such a dominating first half, a majority in favor of the Rabbitohs, but that try right on the stroke of halftime, that changes absolutely everything. Through the hands now with 10 seconds to go. They're going to throw caution to the wind. Sazangi can't get through. This will be the last play of the half. Hudson Young in at dummy half. Chips over the top for Fogarty. Fogarty pops it back and it's loose on the deck. Dived on by the Rabbitohs. Desperation. But yes, so key takeaways from that first half. The Raiders started to get their offload game happening. And frustration here from the Rabbitohs, you can sense it. Latrell involved in a little bit of a push and shove in midfield as the teams go off for halftime. $12 points to 6 at the halftime break. But I've got to say, I think the Raiders going to halftime, once again, I'll say happier of the two teams. I don't think they'll necessarily be happy with that first half performance, but it could have been so much worse. Judah Shivian says, Dan, every time you cover the Raiders, you talk about how fit and athletic they are. And isn't that so important in footy? Add in a little luck and you got a dangerous thing. Absolutely. By the way, whenever I talk about the Raiders and having a lot of luck this season, that's not a bad thing. Every team who goes on to win premierships will talk about it's a combination of fitness, preparation, skills, execution, and luck. Even the Panthers, over the course of their four-peat, will tell you, yeah, we had a lot of luck. We had a lot of things go our way. That could be a bounce of the footy. That could be a run of clean health, no injuries. So, yeah, absolutely. I just wanted to point that out. That wasn't at you specifically, Judah Shivian. Just in general, I do talk a lot about the Raiders and luck. I just want everybody to know that's not a bad thing. Teams that win premierships need that little bit of luck to go on top of what they're genuinely building. So I just wanted to point that out. I'm not crapping on the Raiders necessarily. But yes, the Raiders, they started to get their offload game happening. They're looking very threatening down this left edge. Sasangi is starting to come into the role. And when Tamale went off the field. So, yeah, they're starting to get their act together. The offloads from Hudson Young creating damage. Fogarty starting to take the line on. Ethan Strange, we saw him take the line on and win as he scored that try and converted it right on the stroke of halftime. I feel like the Rabbitohs should be ahead by a lot more than 12 points. But to go into the break only 6 ahead, that was huge. I think that was a massive moment in the game. The Rabbitohs, for a statement and to keep that mentality of being on top, needed to go into the sheds, keeping the Raiders to donuts. Jim Condon asked if the rain's passed. It was still raining on halftime, so we'll see if the halftime break gives that rain time to subside. So we got Alex Johnston. I still need Savage, Young, and Munro. 3 of the 4 legs remaining. And I can tell you, coming up after this, Tigers versus Panthers. Tigers, Panthers. I have got, who did I say? Jenkins, McLean, Stafford Toa, and Liam Martin. I'm actually expecting a very big win there for the Panthers. Look, I tipped the Rabbitohs in this one. I was feeling pretty confident at 12-0, but as I said at the time, the Raiders are not going to go away. They'll keep coming at them. And it's proven to be the case. I'm now starting to feel very, very shaky with that tip. We'll see. Whole half a footy to go. I reckon it'll be high scoring, Christian. Christian NZ, high scoring and low scoring the next game. I think it'll be high scoring. I also think it'll be a belting one way or the other. What should be a golden point blockbuster now, which would be nice. Gaz Johnson, ahoy, mate. Sam Vouston, does anyone know if O'Malley won his fight? Jeez, I'm probably not the person to ask. I don't. What was that? Was that UFC? Was UFC on today? We can try and find out. Sean O'Malley. Okay, UFC 316. Oh, so it hasn't even started yet. Oh, yes, it has. Hang on, what's going on here? Today, 12 p.m. So that would have been 3 hours ago. No idea, I'm sorry. No idea. The Raiders do have some epic names, don't they? Like cool sounding names, right? Savage, Strange, Starling, Tarpany. Mr. Ed's dead. Ahoy, mates. Riley Dunn. Ahoy, mates. What a crucial try that was on the stroke of half-time for the Canberra Raiders. Very important try to make it 12 points to 6. 12 points to 0. And I think the Rabbitohs are very happy. 12 points to 6. Whew. Squeaky bum time. Stats are very even. It is a very, very even contest. 52% possession in favor of the Rabbitohs. 16 of 20 completion rate to the Raiders. 17 from 21. 7 missed tackles to 6. 2 penalties to 1. 5 errors to 4. It's even Stevens all around. Lachlan Galvin at the Bulldogs now, not the West Tigers. Yes, indeed. Yes. Looking forward to that. Lockie Galvin on Monday as the Bulldogs take on the Eels. Public holiday. What is it? King's birthday. King's birthday, public holiday. Bulldogs taking on the Eels. Looking forward to that one. I'll be here for it. Wasted Water Sports covering all the action. So Tamale has suffered a knee injury in the first half. That was the big story there. Sasangi came onto the field. Sasangi didn't really click. Certainly not straight away. Now they put Sasangi into the centres and moved Sebastian Chris out to the wing. Talon, ahoy mate. I think they just call the holiday that. Tuna. I don't think it's really the King's birthday. It's just when the public holiday is observed. JCS Smokey says, I smell another Warriors versus Sharks game with this game. How do you mean? Close at halftime and then one-way traffic in the second half. Because I was obviously doing the Super Rugby quarterfinals. So I didn't quite catch the Sharks-Warriors game. I had it on in the background. But I certainly wasn't paying attention. Yeah, I've got a feeling that try was so important on the stroke of halftime. That try makes me very, very nervous. As somebody who dislikes the Raiders, as somebody who tipped the Rabbitohs, that try on the stroke of halftime makes me very, very nervous indeed. Yeah, I think the Raiders could absolutely roll them here in the second half. Especially if they score the first try. I think, okay, let's make a prediction here for the second half. I'm going to say the Rabbitohs absolutely have to be the first team to score in the second half. I don't care if it's a penalty goal, a try, converted try would be nice. I'd take a penalty goal. I don't care if it's a drop goal. They need to be the first team to score in the second half. Why they would kick a drop goal, I don't know, but I'm just saying, any points will do. The Raiders just started to get on top of the back end of that half. They got their offloads going. The Rabbitohs were so good for about 35 minutes in closing off the offloading game. It's devastating when the Raiders get going. But sort of in the last 10 minutes, Hudson Young started to get some balls free. And that's where the Raiders got on top. Second phase play, broken field play. Ah, 6,004 subscribers on YouTube. Thank you so much, everyone. Very much appreciate it. Cheers. If you enjoy what we're doing here, and it's your first time joining us, or maybe if you've joined us quite a few times and you haven't hit subscribe yet, apparently it does help. I don't pretend to understand how YouTube works, but apparently subscribing helps. So, yes, if you're out there and enjoy joining us here for the footy, do feel free to hit that subscribe button on YouTube, the follow button on Twitch, and whatever the hell the button is on TikTok. How are we doing on TikTok anyways, by the way? TikTok is 2,492 followers. Very cool, very cool. I'm trying to get around to... people have said they've sent me messages on TikTok. I don't know how to see them because I'm dumb. No, I'm not dumb. I'm just out of touch with modern technology. That's all. You know, we got told to start the TikTok. I started the TikTok and I went on there and it's all people dancing and stuff. I'm like, what the hell is this? We couldn't possibly do any good on here. We don't dance. We call footy games. But yeah, 2,490 something on. Wow. Craziness, craziness. And I think we're about 3,000 followers on Twitch. So thank you very much, everybody. Very much appreciate this This channel I started in 2019 initially for the Rugby World Cup. And it didn't do very well. Took a couple of years off, and the channel restarted with the NRL. And whilst I still do rugby union to this day, the NRL is certainly the bread and butter of the channel. Dad on a drive, you're definitely not on TikTok for the dancing. Judah Shivian says, I bet if you got your multi, you would dance. Well, we got 2 multis last weekend, and I didn't do any dancing, so I was very, very happy. I suppose that my unorthodox jumping up and down could be considered a random dance. If anyone's familiar with the TV show Black Books, I kind of looked like the dancing out of Black Books. All right, second half underway. It's the Raiders with the kickoff. Rabbitohs do get first use of it. I think that will be critical as this game continues on. They need to score the first 2 tries, reckons JCS Moki. T. Cherry. No, Sebastian Chris. No, every time I put him in my multi, he lets me down. Watch him score a try today now that I've left him out. Honestly, whenever I put him in, he doesn't score. Whenever I leave him out, he scores. Fifth and last for the Rabbitohs. Latrell from halfway. Puts this one up and it sends it too deep. 7 tackle set incoming. Xavier Savage takes it on the full. Overcooked by Latrell. And Savage catches them napping down this short side. Well, that's not a good start from the Rabbitohs. Oh, dear. Oh, dear. A 7 tackle set to begin. That's the last thing they needed. Hosking. Big defense. Well, they've come out firing in the second half defensively. And they need this. It's a 7 tackle set. Raiders on halfway. Mariota plays it. Tackle 3. Fogarty. Inside ball for Timoko. 40 out from the line now. Play 4. Mariota with his second carry of the set. 30 out now. Fifth and last. They did well that set defensively, the Rabbitohs. Poor pass to Fogarty. He gets a good kick away still, though. And this is very testing for Johnston, who bobbles it and spills it. It's gone backwards, though. Oh, he's got away with that one, I think, AJ. Oh, the Rabbitohs are starting to look very, very shaky here. The rain has subsided by the looks of it. Clear skies. That signals bad news, I think, for the Rabbitohs. Honestly, I think their best bet was for the wet weather to continue, if not get worse. Up over halfway they go now. The Rabbitohs slow play the ball. Sean Kepi. Fifth and last. Latrell keeps this one low and flat. Doesn't want to give away 7 tackles again. It sits up for weeks in the end goal. And he brings it back. He's met just a couple of meters out from his own try line. Good work there from Latrell. So, Tamale officially ruled out with that knee injury. I think we knew that already, though. When you get carried off by the trainers, it's not a good sign. 3 tackles into this set now. Hudson Young can't get the arms free. Well wrapped up by Kalamatangi. And 16, that's Morgan Smithies. Fifth and last. Back to Fogarty. Fogarty. Thumps it upfield. Latrell takes it on the full. And what a great kick return this is. Latrell Mitchell brings it back to the 40. Munro up to halfway. And into Raiders territory they march. Sean Kepi has the ball ripped away. One-on-one steal on halfway. Here come the Raiders. Oh, that's another big turnover. Another big moment in the contest. Hosking bumps off one. That could be a potentially massive moment. One-on-one steal. Here come the Raiders. Starling from dummy half. Heads across to the left. Kalamatangi wraps him up. That's the fourth. 20 metres out. Horsburgh. Fifth and last. Down the short side. Hudson Young. Did he know it was the fifth and last, Hudson? I don't think he did. There's a handover. 5 metres out from the line. I don't think he knew that it was the last tackle. Raiders up quickly off the line here, trying to make sure that the Rabbitohs are kept pinned down inside the 10. Munro tries to get some go forward. But this is big defense from the Raiders. They're on top. The try on the stroke of half-time, and now they've started off very well here in the second half. Daniel Anderson looks like an upset on the cards. No, I don't think so. I mean, the Rabbitohs are going well, but they've got to be the next to score. I know that that sounds weird to say about a team that's in front, but the Raiders, momentum-wise, are well on top at the moment. The Rabbitohs definitely need to be the next to score, or the Raiders will run away with this. Weeks to Sebastian Chris. Chris can't get on the outside of Tass. They get him close to the sideline. Raiders have done well to stay in the field to play there, Seb Chris. Tackle 2, 40 out from their own line. Savage takes it up to halfway. They're just making meters with ease at the moment, the Raiders. Smithies, big, strong run inside the 40. 2 tackles left. Starling from dummy half, catches them napping. Here's Fogarty now. Tries to get the arms free. They're doing well to wrap the ball up again here in the second half, the Rabbitohs. Fifth and last, Weeks with the grubber kick in behind the line. Latrell takes it, and he's been caught high. Hudson Young got him up around the collar. Slow play the ball. Jeez, they can't buy a high tackle penalty at the moment, the Rabbitohs. Johnston tries to spin away from the defense. He's wrapped up. Tackle 3. They're only 20 out from their own line. Slipping into contact there. The Ewan Aiken, the Rabbitohs' second rower, holding the back of his neck. They are desperate for a penalty here, the Rabbitohs. Kalamatangi brings it up just short of the 40. That's the fifth and last. Back to Sullivan from inside the 40. The kick in behind the Raiders. It's going to go dead, is it? It's a 7-tackle set incoming. Oh, boy. Everything that could possibly go wrong for the Rabbitohs here in the second half is going wrong. 7 tackles for the Raiders. How many more invitations do they need? All the momentum with the home side. Rabbitohs have to defend for their lives here. In my opinion, they must be the first team to score in the second half, or this could blow out. Penalty to the Raiders. Here they come, the Green Machine. Well, they are well on top. Behind on the scoreboard, but well and truly on top. Finding touch. 25 out from the line. And, oh, Xavier Savage, a problem with his left arm in back play. Jeez, they can't afford to lose another winger, you would think. Tamale already ruled out for the game with a knee injury. We'll keep an eye on Xavier Savage there in back play. Here's Horsburgh to Fogarty. Inside ball for Young. Gets away from the first tackle. Gets the arms free. Offloads. Second phase play. This is where they're dangerous. Starling goes straight through. He's taken a metre short. Hudson Young from dummy half. Half a metre short. Driven backwards. They stay on the short side. Numbers. Strange scores his second. Ethan Strange gets a double. Oh, the Raiders. They are rolling on now. It's going to be a long old second half here for the Rabbitohs. Ethan Strange bags a double, and this was just too easy. Where was the Rabbitohs' defense? Try confirmed, and I tell you, alarm bells ringing. The alarm bells are blaring for the Rabbitohs now. Ethan Strange with a double. I reckon the Raiders win this by about 30 points now. They are so far on top, momentum-wise. The Rabbitohs had their chances. Strange to lock things up. Puts it down the middle, and it's all locked up. 12 points apiece. And it's the Ethan Strange show for the Canberra Raiders. All 12 of Canberra's points by Ethan Strange. What a stat that is. "29 minutes left to play." That was just so critical. Oh, now that's a forward pass from the end goal from Sebastian Chris as he falls over the dead ball line. Not called. Horsburgh outside the 10. It was a good kickoff by the Rabbitohs. Hell of a kickoff. Smithies. He's picked up and driven backwards. Big defense from the Rabbitohs. They realize it's game on now. They had this in control. They threw it away. And they've got to work for it all over again now. Horsburgh slow to get up and play this one. Fifth and last. Just outside their own 20. Or their own 30, rather. Big kick needed here from Fogarty. And you know he's going to deliver one. Oh, that's a monster. Down the middle of the field. Taken by Johnston on the full, but what a kick that was. Alex Johnston returns it to the 30. Spins into contact. 28 minutes to go. Does anybody feel like golden point? I don't feel like a golden point. It depends, really. I mean, the Rabbitohs, if they can stay in the fight, I suppose. Up into Raiders territory. Here's Cody Walker. Just shuffles it on, and breaking through is Tallis Duncan. Still going Duncan. Brought down, 25 out on play 4 on this near touchline. Walker into midfield it goes. Fifth and last. Humphreys goes right for Latrell to grub her in behind the line. Needing it to sit up for Munro. but it's taken by Weeks for the goal line dropout. Well, Munro was in play there. Never underestimate a Wayne Bennett coach team. That's what I always say. Raiders had success with a short restart last time. Fogarty goes short again. Very accurate. Batted back by the Raiders. And Sasagi comes down with it. Seb Chris with the back. Things are starting to fall their way, the Raiders. As we said, you need that little bit of luck. You just need that little bit of luck on top of natural skill and execution. Cut out pass, and it's been bobbled and lost. Matt Timoko comes up with the error. And here's an opportunity for the Bunnies. Gaz Johnson just put the mockers on them. Good job, Gaz. I tipped the Bunnies, so I appreciate that. "25 minutes left to play. What a crucial set of 6 this is now for the Bunnies. Tass steps back in field. They're 25 out. Patola inside the 20. Backs into the defense. Looks to offload. But the Raiders have got him well wrapped up. 10 from the line. Kalaumatangi to Walker. Harbour Bridge pass over the top for Johnston, who steps back in field. Ran out of space. Tackle 3, 5 meters out on this near touchline. Walker to Kalaumatangi. Humphreys now to Sullivan, sideline to sideline, edge to edge. 10 out from the line now on play 4. Humphreys to Kalaumatangi. Dummies, takes the line on. 5 out from the line now. Can't get the arms free. 5th and last. Humphreys sends it left. Walker to Latrell. The cutout pass to Alex Johnston. Gets the second kick away. And it's picked up by K.O. Weeks. A metre out from his own try line. Poor end of set there for the Rabbitohs. But they do have the Raiders pinned down here for the time being. Can't give away any penalties. That'll be the key this set. No piggybacks upfield. So the Raiders' defense is held firm, crucially for them. 2 tackles left. Smithies. 5th and last, just outside their own 30 again. Fogarty from inside the 40. Gets a good angle on it. It's been lost out the back by Latrell. Manages to recover. And Latrell returns it up to the 20, their own side of halfway. Another iffy play the ball from Latrell. Maintains his footing this time, though. Gets away with it. And Cody Walker's off. Cody Walker up the tunnel. Cody Walker, his first game back from injury, and he is just meandering up the tunnel. Havili's back on. Well, that changes things. Cody was having a decent game. He was getting the attack firing. Humphreys now will take over and steer the ship. Puts this kick high. Pressure on Weeks. Gets away from the kick chase. And a good kick return from Weeks. Brings it back to the 10. Again, pace. Just pure pace from the Green Machine. Sasangi goes straight through. Had no support with him. Front foot ball. The Raiders rolling upfield. Young to Chris. Chris is tackled. 40 out from the line. Play 4. Hudson Young from dummy half. Wrapped up. 5th and last. They're 30 out from the line. And off the back of what was a good kick from the Rabbitohs, The Raiders have just made absolute mincemeat out of them. Johnston loses it. It sits up in the end goal, and it's a try for Zach Hosking. Well, they're starting to get the luck roll their way now. We talk about luck. We talked about how fluky the Raiders have been. The first half didn't fall their way. Oh, the second half, everything is going their way. It was a perfect set of 6 from the Rabbitohs. A great kick. But the Raiders just marched upfield. A lucky bounce off the spilt ball. And Zach Hosking with the try. Well, their luck has surely got to run out at some point. You would think. I don't know when that time's going to be. But you would think that their luck has to run out eventually. But for the time being, they are going to ride it as far as it takes them. 16 points to 12, kick to come. Ethan Strange. A simple conversion here to put the Raiders up by 6. Slots it over. 18 points to 12. Beware the floodgates opening now. Unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. Zach Hosking with the try. 18 points to 12. The Raiders, after trailing 12-0 early. It's been one-way traffic. Another forward pass from the kickoff, but it would be very harsh to call those. It is my job to point them out, though. 10 out from their own line, the Raiders. Sasagi. Taking the ground. 15 out. Well on top now, the Raiders. And still with a quarter of this game to go, this score could end up being anything. Tackle 3. 25 out. Hudson Young gets the arms free, but no support with him. They're up to halfway already now. 5th and last. Fogarty. They're going to run here. Cut out pass to Timoko. Timoko's got Savage. Grubbers in behind the line, and it's scooped up well by Latrell. Geez, signs of confidence there from the Raiders now. Running it on the 5th and last. They've got the lead. They've got the little buffer. They're really looking to open up the legs. I nearly said spread the legs. That would have sounded terrible. And now the Rabbitohs come up with a mistake in the play of the ball. It's completely fallen to pieces here. The Rabbitohs have just self-destructed. 30 minutes of domination. And now it's all gone completely to hell. And it's gone there very rapidly. There's still 20 minutes left to play. They could still have 50 put on them here, the way it's going. Scrum down Raiders. Hosking, the last try scorer. 25 out in midfield. They'll put the game to bed here, the Raiders, with a try. The Rabbitohs aren't coming back from 2 converted tries down. Numbers to the left. Strange beats the first tackle. Beats the second. Ethan Strange still going. He's away from 3. They can't put him down. He's finally put down. Set restart for a ruck infringement. Down the short side, Hudson Young backs into the defense. It's all Raiders now. Ten out from the line. Fogarty. The short pass for Mariota. Still going, Mariota. Starling sends it back Owen Paddy it is on the field now. Timoko can't get the arms free. Savage was in open space. Fogarty shows it inside, goes to Tarpany, who angles back to the near touchline, and he's brought down. A great one-on-one tackle there from Jack Whiten. 2 left in this set. Paddy with the crash ball for Hosking, and he is thumped by Havili. And who was that there with him? Grubber kick in behind the line. Sits up for the Bunnies, a metre out. They've held on for now, the Bunnies, but it's all Canberra. The Rabbitohs look absolutely out on their feet. The Raiders still full of running. They need a penalty here, the Rabbitohs. Going from dummy half here, finding some space. Alex Johnston, 5th and last. They're 35 out from their own line. Big kick needed. Latrell, can he deliver? From inside the 40, keeps it low and flat, and it sits up for Weeks. Weeks will return it to at least the 30. 25 out from their own line here to start the set. The Raiders well on top and controlling this game now. There's Sebastian Chris. Mid-hard, here comes Big Papa. Papa Lihi. Out he comes. Up to halfway, the Raiders march. Smithies into Rabbitohs territory on play 4. 16 minutes to go. Hudson Young, 5th and last. 35 out. Fogarty puts this one high. Contestable kick. Savage chasing through. Taken by Latrell. But they start the set. 10 out from their own line. Fogarty controlling with his kicking game. Big defense from the Raiders. They've just got to not give away any penalties, and they'll be right. Munro from dummy half. The Souths look absolutely gassed. Had their opportunities. The Bunnies. Jai Arrow takes the 5th and last, and again, they're inside their own 40. Latrell. Another low flat kick. It's going to sit up on the bounce for Weeks. Weeks will return it to the 25 or beyond as he heads across field. No, they hold him up and drive him back. That's a great kick chase. That could stifle some momentum. They're up quickly on Sasungi. He gets away from the first tackle. 25 out from their own line. Play 2. Over on that left edge. Here's Strange. Step straight through Ethan Strange. Well tackled by Ewan Aitken. Oh, he's looking dangerous. Ethan Strange. Numbers down the short side. Savage is picked up and dumped. But look at the meters they're making here. They're 40 out from the Rabbitohs line on play 4. Papali'i takes tackle 5. 30 out. Fogarty wants it down the short side. That's where they go. They've spotted a mismatch. It's batted back by Seb Chris, taken by Young. Young offloads and Sasungi scores. That's the match winner. That's the match winner. The Raiders roll on. Semi Sasungi with the try. Fogarty spotted the mismatch down the short side. It was uncontested in the air. Chris bats it back. And they got the offload working again. Oh, well, he's offside here. Hudson Young's offside. I think this one might get looked at. Let's have a look. We'll see if they confirm it or not. Hudson Young was in front of the kicker and then got involved in the play. But at the moment, it's a try for Simi Sasungi, the match winner for the Raiders. And I am expecting the bunker here to have a look at Hudson Young's positioning. At the moment, it's playing through. With 12 minutes to go, well, it seems like the try's been confirmed. Well, Hudson Young was about 5 meters offside there. Try confirmed. There you go. Ethan Strange, perfect with the boot so far tonight. Puts it over to make it 24 points to 12. 12 minutes left to play. And ever since the 30th minute, it's been all Raiders. Still 12 and a half to play. Like I said, 50s on here if they're not careful. Sasangi, the try scorer. Brings it out to the 20. Papali'i. Cody Walker officially ruled out. I think we knew that, though. He looked very dejected going up the tunnel. Tarpany held up, driven backwards. Too little, too late here from the Rabbitohs defense. The Raiders coming into a bye next weekend as well. They were guaranteed 2 points for them. Fifth and last. Fogarty puts this one high. Down the middle of the field. Taken by Johnston. 11 and a half minutes left to play. Can some of the X-Factor players of the Rabbitohs provide some magic? They look very flat at the moment. Munro slips into contact. Latrell brings it outside the 30. Tigers, Panthers coming up straight after this one. Kalamatangi bumps off one, bumps off a second. Kalamatangi still going. Inside ball is dropped and the Raiders dive on it. It's amazing how rapidly this game fell apart. Not sure what happened to Cody Walker. They had a shot of him walking up the tunnel in the first half. And, yeah, there's not enough time for 50 now at JCS, Moki. Yeah, they had a shot of Cody Walker looking very dejected walking up the tunnel. But they didn't really elaborate on what was happening. Tarpany, 5 out from the line. Owen Paddy to Papali'i, and Big Papa gets the try. Well, that's what they wanted to see. Big Papa gets the try right beside the posts as the Raiders march to the top of the ladder. Can you believe it? An absolute wooden spoon team, dead set on paper. Not a single superstar in the squad. And they temporarily, at least, move to the top of the table. $20.25. What weirdness is this? Try confirmed. Well, there was no way they were ever taking this try off him. Not a chance. Big Papa goes over. Nine minutes left to play, and it's about to be 30 points to 12. That's what they wanted. I talked about it in the pregame. They were going to move heaven and earth to get that man across the try line today. And there it is. Big Papa, number 300. And over he goes. Ethan Strange to keep his perfect kicking game alive from right beside the post. Should be a simple conversion. Pops it over. 30 points to 12. And that try right on the stroke of half time. It really was the killer blow, I think. It's been one-way traffic since. Rabbitohs go short with the restart. And it's taken by Chris. Secure under the high ball, Seb Chris. Tigers, Panthers coming up next. Well, hopefully that's a good game. There's been some absolute stinkers this round in the NRL, hasn't there? I certainly made the right call in terms of match quality. I certainly made the right call covering the Super Rugby quarterfinals. There's been some absolute shellackings in the NRL this round. Owen Paddy finds some space from dummy half. Set restart late in the count. Maybe it's not too late for 50, JCS. Here they come again. 20 out. They'll score here off this set. That'll make it 36. 3 more tries in the last 7 minutes. The way that it's going, it's not impossible. 10 out from the line here on play 3. Paddy sends it left for Fogarty. Chosen inside, goes out. Strange, dummies. Beats the line. Ethan Strange, he's been immense today. Tackle 4. Papa wants a double. Papa gets a double. Big Papa gets a double. You're joking. Papa Leahy with a double. 34-12, kick to come. Still 7 minutes to go. Floodgates. Well and truly open. Josh Papali'i is going to take the conversion. With 6 minutes to play, Big Papa is going to take the conversion. Oh, you love to see it. Maybe they won't get 50 now because this is going to stay 34. Although, the way things are going for the Raiders today, Papali'i might actually pop this one over. It's not like it's a difficult kick. It's actually quite a simple conversion. It's not right in front. It's about 10 meters to the left of the post. Papali'i on game number 300 slots the conversion right down the middle. You can't believe it. Wow. Josh Papali'i, they've gone and got themselves another backup goal kicker, the Raiders. 36 points to 12. Oh, God, that's hilarious. Still 5.5 minutes to go. Hudson Young from the restart. Big Papa with the conversion. That's hilarious. Bagging himself a double on game number 300. Harpenny stands in the tackle. 5 minutes left. As Hudson Young is a little limpy in back play. Might just be cramps. He's off the field. Hudson Young leaving the field. There we go. Hudson Young's done. That's his day over. And they'll be keeping an eye on that. Hudson Young's no loss for New South Wales in the Origin squad, to be perfectly honest. As Latrell takes the high ball, steps away from one, gets away from another. Latrell pops the pass over the top. And some space at last for the Rabbitohs. As Munro, no, that's Isaiah Tass, sorry, down that right edge. Big defense on Johnston. Shuts him down. Yeah, Hudson Young, no loss for Origin. If he is indeed gone, he's more of a loss for the Raiders. Up over halfway. Campbell, you just need Whiten to score. They haven't had the ball in the second half. The Rabbitohs. Fifth and last, Latrell puts this kick up. Here is Jack Whiten chasing through, but it's taken by Xavier Savage. Ten out from their own line here, the Raiders. Three and a half left to play. It's all slowing down now. 36-12. Wow. That try right on the stroke of half time. I called it when it happened. That was the moment. The Rabbitohs needed to keep them to naught. The Raiders were playing with no confidence. No luck, no confidence. Things weren't falling their way. For the first time all season, things weren't falling their way. They got a little bit of confidence on the back of that try. Suddenly, they started getting all the bounces of the ball, all the 50-50 calls, and it was one-way traffic in the second half. 2 tries for this man, Big Papa, and a conversion. If you had Big Papa for a conversion on your NRL bingo, congratulations. John Michael, ahoy, mate. Here's Jack Whiten taking the line on, tackled on halfway. 2.5 left to go. Consolation points, all that's on offer here for the Rabbitohs. Latrell onto Sullivan. Sullivan out to Munro. Has to reach back for it. Jim Condon says if anyone can win in the second half from behind, it's the Raiders. Well, especially when it's only 6 behind. I think if it was 12-0 at halftime, it's a completely different complexion to this game. Like I said, in that first half, they had no confidence. The ball wasn't bouncing their way for the first time all season. The opposition was getting all the luck. And I think if they went to the sheds at 0, I'm not saying that they wouldn't have still come back, but I'm saying it would have had a completely different complexion to the game. The fact that they took that try into the halftime break, they just carried that momentum on in the second half. And of course, the Rabbitohs didn't help themselves. They didn't execute a 7-tackle set, a dropped ball. That's the way they started the second half. And you can't invite anybody back into a contest that way consistently, constantly. Eventually, they're going to take their chance. It doesn't matter if you're playing the Panthers, the Titans. Doesn't matter if you're playing the local under-16s team. if you invite them back into the contest with mistakes, they'll eventually take one or two. And that's what happened to the Rabbitohs. Losing Cody Walker obviously didn't help. And then it was just one-way traffic in the second half. All Canberra Raiders in the second half, they started to get that trademark luck go their way. The bounce of the ball started to go in their favour once they got that confidence going. And then they just topped it off with speed and execution. It was the perfect mix for a second half onslaught. John Michael, yes indeed. Dogs versus Eels tomorrow. It's happening. Some people have to work. I'm very thankful to say this is my job. So I will be doing it. Full-time siren sounds. And the pain and misery is over, for today at least, for the South Sydney Rabbitohs. Joshua Anthony Williams, ahoy mates. Thank you very much for the kind words. I love that. Great call today, fella. A little bit of Seamus. Which is funny because I am part Irish. Born in Australia, part Kiwi, part Irish. Pretty obvious I was going to be a big drinker, hey. I mean, what a mix, right? What a trio to combine into one person. Australian born, part Kiwi, part Irish, alcohol fueled. Craig Howarth, from a devout Buddies fan, methinks Cody is cooked. I can't help but notice that ultimately that's when it all fell apart for the Rabbitohs. When Cody Walker left the field, dejected up the tunnel, I mean, that's when it completely fell apart for the Rabbitohs. The opening 30 minutes was near perfect. Boy, how quickly it fell apart. John Michael, no, didn't watch Money in the Bank. But I did catch up on the results. I did think it was funny because in our Not Another Bloody Wrestling Show podcast, I actually raised the question as to whether or not the whole R-Truth thing was a work. Apparently, he's still with the company. I feel like I'm the only person who was calling that. But anyway, I digress. We got to get ready for the next game. The footy's not over today. We've still got more to come. We've got the Tigers to take on the Panthers. And I tell you what, this was a good result for the Panthers. Any Panthers supporters out there, they need the top four to just keep, like, top four is probably gone for the Panthers. It's not completely ruled out, but it's likely out of the question. They'll be happy to just get into the finals. And results like this, they need teams in and around them to keep losing so they can keep marching up the ladder. So Raiders victory, 36 points to 12. We'll get ourselves ready for the next game. Tigers versus Panthers. Panthers obviously have to keep winning. When does it start? 4 o'clock, I think. 4:05. Okay. So on YouTube, you should automatically redirect over there when this stream ends. Theoretically. On the other platforms, we'll just break away and we'll be right back. Okay, I'll put that redirect in place now. Tigers, Panthers coming up We'll catch you shortly. So YouTube, it'll automatically go over. On the other platforms, it'll be a quick break. We'll be right back. Tigers, Panthers coming up on the Waste of Water Sports.